Deadly drugs and several gang members now off the streets of New Jersey.
The group and drugs targeted in an early morning takedown in Newark.
America, while mainstream media obsesses over Trump's cabinet picks, one of the most brilliant appointments is already delivering results that'll blow your mind. Alina Habba, Trump's former attorney, is now interim US Attorney for New Jersey. Just led massive coordinated raids that took down violent gang networks terrorizing American communities. We're talking about Tren de Aragua gang members wanted for armed robberies on New York City subways, blood gang members running fentanyl operations that could kill 500,000 people, and over 40 arrests in what they're calling Operation Apex Hammer. What's really incredible, she's doing this while the Biden administration was letting these same criminals walk free for years.
And U.S. Attorney Alina Habba says, listen, this is not going to happen anymore in my home state. So she teamed up with U.S. Marshals who were going after the worst of the worst as they knocked on those doors and said, you can run, but you can't hide.
What is up, guys? Tyson Dela Cruz here. Thank you so much for rocking with me. This is exactly what we voted for. Real law enforcement that puts American safety first instead of coddling criminals. Alina Habba is already showing the country what happens when you have prosecutors who actually want to prosecute. Let me break this down for you. Alina Habba, who defended Trump, is now using the same fighting spirit to take down the most dangerous criminals in New Jersey. In coordinated operations with U.S. Marshals, she targeted violent gang members who have been terrorizing communities for years under Biden's soft on crime policies.
Police department with a warrant, open the doors.
An early morning raid in Newark, New Jersey.
We're talking about suspected gang members wanted for murder, robbery, and assault operating just miles from New York City. These aren't petty criminals. These are violent offenders who have been walking around freely while law-abiding Americans live in fear. Operation Apex Hammer is a month-long operation that has already led to more than 40 arrests. And Alina Habba made it clear they're just getting started. Fox News got exclusive ride-along access to U.S. Marshals serving warrants to some of the most dangerous criminals in the tri-state area.
Cases at once to make sure that we clean up as quickly as possible.
Where are we going now?
Now we're going to go to another Newark location.
The first target was a suspected Tren de Aragua member wanted for a string of armed robberies in New York City subways. This is the same Venezuelan gang that has been terrorizing American cities, taking over apartment complexes, and running criminal operations with complete impunity under the Biden administration. But when they got the location, the main target wasn't home. Instead, they found multiple illegal immigrants who federal agents say are all in the country illegally. This perfectly shows the connection between Biden's open border policy and the crime wave plaguing our cities.
Habba and her team waiting for that main target to surrender, but he's not home. Instead, these migrants who the feds say are all in the country illegally finally come out.
You know what, guys? Watching Alina Habba fight for American families against these dangerous criminals reminds me of another group that needs someone fighting for them, our seniors, who are constantly under attack from Medicare scammers and insurance fraudsters. Look, Alina Habba spent years defending Trump against corrupt prosecutors, and now she's using the same skills to prosecute actual criminals. That's exactly the kind of fierce advocacy our seniors need to deal with the Medicare maze. That's why Chapter is different. Their advisors are like having your own Alina Habba in your corner for Medicare decisions. They don't work for insurance companies. They work for you. No backdoor deals, no hidden agendas, just straight up advocacy. Here's what I love about Chapter. They treat Medicare like the serious decision it is. Just like Alina Habba doesn't mess around with gang members, Chapter doesn't mess around with your healthcare. They dig deep into your specific situation, your doctors, your medication, your budget, and build a case for the best plan. Just like these gang raids are saving American communities, Chapter is saving seniors from financial disaster. The average person overpays $1,200 per year on Medicare because they don't have somebody fighting for them. If you're 65 or approaching Medicare eligibility, get somebody in your corner who actually fights for you. Check out Chapter at askchapter.org/Tyson or give them a call at 270-467-0614. When everyone else is trying to take advantage of you, you need somebody who's actually on your side. Now, back to how Alina Habba's team is dismantling these violent criminal networks. The raids didn't stop here. Her team moved to another Newark location to arrest a female gang member who shot her partner and has gang affiliations. This shows the level of violence these criminals are bringing to American communities.
This New Jersey woman arrested after investigators say she recently shot at least 2 people.
They conducted another bust where a suspect wanted for aggravated assault nearly escaped from a fire escape. These criminals think that they can run and hide, but Alina Habba has a message for them.
And our directive is very clear. We will come after you if you break the law. We will come after you if you are an illegal alien that has come in illegally. You will be dismissed, removed, and we will not tolerate any crime in this country anymore. That is common sense.
That's the kind of tough law enforcement we need in every single city in America. The gang raids were just part of Alina Habba's comprehensive approach to cleaning up New Jersey. Her office also led a massive operation against a blood gang drug trafficking network that was terrorizing the Crensmere Home public housing complex in Newark.
Over the past year, the Bloods gang has terrorized the Crensmere Homes public housing complex in Newark, New Jersey, using violence and fear to operate their drug trafficking business.
This wasn't just any drug operation. They seized approximately 7,000 grams of heroin and fentanyl. That's enough fentanyl to kill 500,000 people. Let that sink in. One gang operation in Newark had enough poison to wipe out 500,000 Americans.
This operation removed numerous firearms and approximately 7,000 grams of heroin and fentanyl from our streets.
But here's what's really sick about these criminals. They were using clever packaging to make their deadly product seem less harmful. They stamped their fentanyl and cocaine packages with names like Scarface, Cocoa Puffs, and Purple Rain to make them seem more attractive.
We allege that they market fentanyl, the deadliest drug in our country, and cocaine, the most addictive drug in our country, by stamping wrappers with names like Scarface, Cocoa Puffs, Purple Rain, to make the content inside the package less scary.
What makes Alina Habba's work so impressive is the sophisticated investigation techniques her team used. This wasn't just random raids. This was a result of a long-running multi-agency investigation involving the FBI, US Attorney's Office, Drug Enforcement Administration, and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives.
U.S. Attorney for New Jersey Alina Habba says the raid was the result of a long-running investigation,
which included court-authorized wiretaps, controlled purchases by informants and undercover officers, hundreds of hours of surveillance, and search warrants on over a dozen different locations in the Garden State.
This is what real law enforcement looks like when you have prosecutors who actually want to put criminals behind bars. The 25 people charged in the Newark operation are facing 10 years mandatory minimum sentence with the possibility up to life in prison. This is the kind of serious consequences these criminals deserve. But Alina Habba and her team aren't declaring victory just yet. Even after these massive raids, reporters found that open-air drug transactions were still happening in the same locations just hours later. This shows how deeply entrenched these criminal networks have become under years of the Biden soft on crime policies.
I have to tell you, if any undercover agent had doubled back to that very scene an hour or two after that early morning raid, they would have seen what I saw. Open air drug transactions still going on in that spot. I saw at least 2 of them.
This perfectly illustrates the scope of the problem Alina Habba inherited. These criminal networks have been operating with impunity for so long, they think that they can just resume business, but they're about to learn that the days of catch and release are over.
A now unsealed federal criminal complaint charges 25 members of the drug trafficking organization with conspiracy to distribute 400 or more grams of fentanyl and 280 or more grams of crack cocaine.
America, what we're seeing in New Jersey is exactly what happens when you put a competent, tough prosecutor in charge instead of soft on crime liberals who coddle criminals. Alina Habba is showing the entire country what real law enforcement looks like. When she was defending Trump against bogus lawfare attacks, she was preparing for this moment, the chance to actually prosecute real criminals who are terrorizing American communities. Gang members wanted for murder and armed robbery, drug dealers with enough fentanyl to kill 500,000 people, and violent criminals who thought they could hide in sanctuary jurisdictions. Operation Apex Hammer is just getting started with more than 40 arrests and counting. This is what happens when you have leadership that actually wants to protect American communities instead of protect criminals. The contrast couldn't be clearer. Under Biden, these gang members were walking free, dealing fentanyl and terrorizing communities. Under Trump's team, they're getting arrested, prosecuted, and facing decades in prison. This is exactly why why Trump chose people like Alina Habba for key positions. She's not interested in political games or virtual signaling. She's interested in results and getting violent criminals off the street and making American communities safe again. I'll keep you updated as Operation Apex Hammer continues to take down criminal networks. And remember, this is what happens when you elect leaders who actually want to enforce the law. Let me know what you guys think about this. Drop it down in the comment section down below. Smash the like button if you kindly would. Share, subscribe, and as always, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.